What's going on YouTube? Uberman here. So, wanted to give you guys a quick update on my fish. I recently did a video showing you guys that this little lady in here got herself knocked up again. And you can definitely see, sorry for the shaky video there for a minute. She's camera shy. Look at her. She's a beautiful fish though. She just doesn't want to be on video. So here's what I did. I moved my 20-gallon in here, which any of you that followed it know that these little guys were technically born into a little 10-gallon that I had, and this was an emergency tank right here. This tank was something I ran to PetSmart, picked it up, put sand in it, no nitrogen cycle, literally an emergency tank to get these guys into a safe place. So, with that being said, here's the new one. It is a 55-gallon with a custom-built stand, custom-built hood. The rocks in the background are slate, and I paid $200 for it. It uses, I'll pull out this hood so you can see the lighting, 48-inch fluorescent lights. All right, we've got a Philips 6500K, that's the white one. Then we've got a Marine Glow, which is the blue one. The blue one is burning out, as you can see over here. There's almost no color left. As you get over there, it's a really dark blue, almost looks like a black light. I just ordered another one of those lights today. It was $30 shipped. It's a very heavy stand. The hood is also very heavy. The slate rock is very heavy. That sand is not the typical sand that I use in a tank. My other tanks have this cichlid sand. I like it. I think it's a very, very bright, vibrant looking sand. This is a pretty dull sand. It is swimming pool sand. It has a Fluval 405. This came with it. I have a Tetra Whisper 30-60, which is being replaced very, very soon. It's got a temporary heater in the back, a submersible, which is also being replaced. What I ended up doing is, by the way, that's a Fluval 405. What I ended up doing, the only thing that I needed was a bubble wall. I'm really big on all my fish having very, very strong aeration. So I had to buy a pump. I had to buy a heater, and like I said, that's temporary. And I had to buy the little, I had to buy the PVC line and a couple of bubble stones that are 14 inches apiece. So I got 28 inches of bubble stone. This tank is just over 4 feet wide. It's a very wide tank. The fish are very happy. Again, with this tank, it was kind of an emergency deal. There was no nitrogen cycle. I mean, I know people are going to jump my shit over it, but it's been over 24 hours. These guys are all doing well. What I ended up doing is I ended up buying new heaters for all my tanks because this one was acting up anyway. There's been times that tank has been over 86 degrees with that heater. And I needed a proper one for this one. That little one in the corner there is not going to cut it. So I got a 300-watt submersible for this one. I got a 100-watt submersible for that one. And then for the one in my living room, the 75-gallon, I bought a 300-watt for that as well. The slate rock, I lined it up. As you can see, they've got gaps back here. Hopefully you can see anyway. They got plenty of gaps, especially back here. That's a black painted wall. This is the wall over here, and here's the gap between the wall and the stone. So they've got plenty of room. Oh, they came to say hi. They're very happy little fish. They really are. Anyway, don't jump me too much about nitrogen cycles and all that other stuff. I am not an expert, but I've been doing this for a couple years, and I've never lost fish from lack of a nitrogen cycle or from taking them from one tank to another. So the way I figure this is going to work, the 75-gallon in the living room, that's the adult tank. All of my full-grown cichlids started life in a 55 gallon when they were just a little bit bigger than these guys from PetSmart. Probably the fish were probably about 2 months old from PetSmart when I bought them. And they're all pretty much full grown at this point in time in the living room. So I know that they can grow properly in this tank. I now know that they will survive being born and live in this tank up until they get to about this size. So the way I feel about it is this is great for her to have her fry, spit them. I'll put her back in the adult tank. These guys can grow up to be this size. These guys, 6, 8 months, maybe a year or so, will be about the size of the ones in my tank in the living room. And we'll just keep repeating this process over and over. I'm going to give several of them to my daughter because she has my old 55 gallon at her house. So I'll give several of these to her. The rest of them, I'll put a few back in my adult tank, and then the rest I'm going to sell for maybe $20 a piece, something like that when they get full grown. They're beautiful fish. I shouldn't have much trouble selling them. And then we'll move her fish, her next set of babies into this one, and we'll just keep doing that. And maybe, just maybe, there's a few dollars that can be made off of this. So far, I'm very happy with the noise from the Fluval 405, or the lack thereof, I should say. It's a very quiet filter. I know it looks small, especially in comparison to my Sun or Aquatop. I believe it's a 404 BW or a 304 BW in the living room. I really like this filter. I realize it's a small filter, but I'm actually looking at purchasing a new Fluval for my living room, and it's going to be the Fluval FX6, I believe. It's a very expensive canister filter, and it's rated for much bigger than what my tank is, but I think I'm so happy with this. I actually am looking at the FX6. It's a quiet filter, and it does a really good job. Very, very impressed. And this is an old filter, you know what I mean? That sucks. That whisper is anything but whisper. That thing is so loud that I have to turn it off if I'm going to make a video because the noise resonates into my Blue Yeti mic. So the Fluval can run, but that, no. I'm replacing it with a Whisper Tetra 100. But otherwise, guys, tell me what you think. You know, the babies have a new home. They've got lots of places that they can hide, lots of places they can swim, lots of places they can mark as territory of their own. They can start learning about life in the real world for them. They seem happy. They do. They're just happy-go-lucky fish. And I'm happy. Like I said, guys, I got this whole thing, this entire setup, for $200. The Fluval 405 by itself, used, sells for over $100. With that being said, guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for watching my video. Tell me what you think of my decision. I did decide to put the small tank in my office as well as the large one because this is where the fry will move into what I'm calling the transition tank. So it's easier to have them side by side rather than have that in the living room. That's what I had to do. I had to catch every one of those little suckers in a net, and they're fast. And to catch every one of them from that tank in the living room and put them in here. No more. No more. We're going straight from here to here. Thank you for watching, guys. My desk is a mess. This is where all the recording goes on. Like, comment, subscribe. Be safe out there, and Uber on.